Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us now on our road to Hard to Kill, our first event of 2022. So we begin our set of tapings tonight, 3 other shows on the day. As always, we just continue to grow the company and put ourselves in the best position possible going forward. What I'm hoping for as well is obviously getting to medium, so I can tick that accomplishment off the achievement list. It's a decent show. It starts to get the plans in motion for Hard to Kill. So without further ado, let's crack on and see this week's taping. So we're back at the Dusty Roads field at the Harman Stadium, and I went with a wee bit of a interesting opener. As you can see here, we've had Fenix, Matt Hardy, Sami Callihan, Ace Austin, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood in the ring, and they deliver a 67 segment. So what can we make this segment all about then? So I think the idea is we'll start off with, we'll have Matt Hardy in the ring, we'll have him starting it, just basically saying delighted to take the victory over FTR, they're banged up, they're beaten, but they took the win, and Jeff Hardy's recovering well in hospital following his stunt bump. He's not injured, we're just pretending. So with that being the case, obviously Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood come out and they just basically say that the Hardys got lucky and they've put Jeff Hardy in the hospital. Now it's time for them to do the same to Matt. Matt is saved because out from the crowd to make sure that he's okay is the Impact World Champion Fenix to even up the odds at 2-2. Which causes FTR to kind of retreat their way from the ramp. They're not fully headed towards the ring until Ace Austin comes out, makes it 3-on-2, and they feel a little bit confident. We'll have a little bit of a brawl about to happen before Sami Callihan runs out with a baseball bat and just basically says, you know, it's his time for an opportunity. He's going to make sure Ace Austin gets nowhere near that belt because he wants the belt. And he says he respects Fenix, but at the end of the day, he's got to look out for number 1. So a 67 promo here, basically my way of setting up tonight's main event, 6-man tag. We started off with a bout that had some good heat and decent wrestling. Richard Holiday with a win over Matt Cardona, and 9.55 with the market crash. This was a 55. I just felt like it was worth starting to invest in Richard Holiday, no pun intended there, and he picks up a very good win over a good veteran. We then moved on to some X Division action as about that had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling saw Josh Alexander pick up the win over Ultimo Vampiro in 7.44 with a Pearl River plunge. This only rated a 40 because of the lack of overness of Ultimo Vampiro, and we did make this our storytelling match of the evening. Moving along, we see the duo of EC3 and Johnny Dango bump into Richard Holiday. And they just basically say, well, it's more so EC3 that's talking. He just says, we see a lot of potential in you. You seem to be very smart, a wise head. I think if we all aligned, then you're making good money now. You could make real good money in the future. So we want you to go ahead and think about it and let us know if you want to join with us because we're going straight to the top. So Holiday goes, I'll think about it. And the segment gets a 47. We progress into a good matchup that saw Ethan Page continue his momentum with a victory over Alex Shelley in 10.30 with a spinning facebuster. 2 very capable athletes here, and that delivers us a very solid 56 rating. We then have another celebration ceremony to commemorate Moose's success. As I say, I'm going to keep doing this just to get him over with the fans and get some more attention on him. Of course, he did defeat Bully Ray at the final resolution. I only booked this a couple of weeks ago and I still can't remember, but 63 anyway for Moose's celebration. We then had a good wrestling match that sustained a decent reaction from the crowd, which saw Thunder Rosa defeat Deonna Purrazzo in 10.14 with a reverse DDT. Some very stellar performances from both women here in the Knockouts division, both presenting 53 performances, resulting in a 55 segment rating. I think I made that still the show. No, regular. Good. So they can do better. Thunder Rosa then cuts a promo. She basically says this is just one win on her way to challenging Ronda Rousey. She wants to become the next Knockouts champion. Simple, effective, 63 rated promo. We move along to some action in the tag division, where we had a decent matchup that saw Violent by Design's Eric Young and Joe Doring pick up the win over Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, and 10-20 with Eric Young pinning Griff Garrison with a wheelbarrow neckbreaker. The veterans pick up the win here in a 51 rated matchup as they go on to show what a dominant force they can be within our tag division. And after it, Eric Young says that Matt Riddle got very lucky against Ken Shamrock, but this war against Matt Riddle with Violent by Design is far from over, and if Matt Riddle's got the balls, then he can step up and face Eric Young at any time. We then had a superb wrestling matchup with great heat, which saw Ronda Rousey defeat Veny in Heat 15 by submission with an armbar at 68. I felt like Veny has the technical skills and the psychology to carry a good match out of Ronda, which is truly delivered here with a spectacular 68, all things considered. So delighted with that one, and of course your champ's not going to lose just after winning the belt. Ronda then cuts a promo on Jordynne Grace. It's basically a case of her saying she's won the belt, she was an okay fighter, but she's not in Ronda Rousey's level. Jordynne, if you're not scared, you've got that rematch whenever you want. Ronda Rousey needs a sparring partner, basically. But she does speak about Thunder Rosa. She knows about her words, but she's not even caring about Thunder Rosa. This is all about Ronda Rousey's time, and a segment very, very strong there with a 69 rating. Got a wee music package on Jeff Hardy, just saying, he's hoping to recover from his injuries and be back within 1 or 2 weeks. But he says the creatures of the night, it was worth it doing that stage at dive or whatever he done. We finished the show. Our main event also draws a 66, and this was about they had superb wrestling and great heat. The trio of Fenix, Matt Hardy and Sami Callihan defeating Ace Austin and FTR in 14:26 when Fenix pinned Ace Austin with a Meteora. A 66, I'd say all performances there are pretty good apart from Matt Hardy's. He was off his game, Ace was off his game as well, so we could have maybe looked at a 67 or 68. But yeah, it's just a case of having Fenix pin Ace just basically takes Ace right out the title picture, and a number one contender will hopefully appear over the next few tapings. So solid and spectacular. Overall it's a 64 because production values will cost us a few points, but the main thing is we continue to gain popularity as we strive to get closer to that medium size company and hopefully more money for the company to invest going forward. So thanks for watching. 3 more tapings to go, and hopefully we'll have a stellar card for Hard to Kill. So cheers for that, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.